Hi, this is Joe at Honeymoon Acres. Welcome to January 2019's growing season. We start off every year by getting our containers and things ready for spring and cuttings also. These are the fresh cuttings that come in the first week in January. We stick these. They come from all over the world of different greenhouses everywhere that you can imagine. And we stick each one in individually. They come in. We did about 50,000 that week that you're looking at. There's Clint putting some cuttings in. Each one is tenderly, lovingly cared and put in, and we stick them in, and we cover them over, and then we go from there. And then you'll get a chance to see them all done in the tray, and it takes pretty close to 2 to 3 weeks for them to turn out nice. There I am doing my cuttings, and the same thing, just sticking them in, closing them up, making sure they're secure. And we put them on the heat bench, misting on at certain times, keeping the temperature right, keeping the humidity right, and we end up with plants that we'll be planting these up in February, mid-February, to do baskets and pots and things like that. So when you come in spring, this is the beginning of your plants for spring. And there's Marcy doing her cuttings. We all sit around and stick these. Takes hours and hours to get them done, but they end up being beautiful plants. We do this instead of buying into plants ourselves, so we have a little bit better control. The plants are nicer, and we just like doing it. And there's Dwight. Those are sweet potato vines there. He's working on it. One by one, as you see. Eventually we get them done, believe it or not. All the cuttings. Thousands and thousands of them. There's Clint slapping some more in. So they all look nice, and then they'll all keep growing. Some of them we use a soil material, a growing medium. That's what those are. And then other ones you see, there's some glue plugs we use also. More and more going in the ground. And more. We do not use root tone or root hormones on them. We have pretty good success without using anything additives to them. We just stick them in the ground, and the rest of the greenhouse is all set, so everything's perfect in there for them. And there you see them out on the bench now. After we get some done, they keep going out there, and one by one we keep getting them done. And as you see, that's about a week later, and they start to have roots on them already. And that's just from the humidity, the soil, conditions in the greenhouse are just right. We also use a LED lighting. If you see pink greenhouses, if you happen to drive by and see them pink, that's the color of the lighting. That's the best kind of moles you get off of the lights for the plants. And we run them about 16 hours a day. Plus, like I say, the heat on the bench keeps the cuttings warm, certain temperature, and then the misting, and that's adjusted according to the days and the amount of moisture in the air. And there you're looking at, I believe those are ferns. Spring asparagus ferns, and those are all your pansies for beginning of April. That's how they're looking already, so we're getting at it, and won't be long we'll be planting pansies. So eventually we'll be transplanting them into little individual pots. You'll see that later. Those are your onions you'll be planting in your garden, and we started those a couple weeks ago and get them out of the ground. And here's Lena working on the website, getting it ready for everybody. And that'll be set, and there are some containers getting put together. We put all the pots together before we need them, and that way it takes less time in the spring when we're planting everything to run through them. working on those, and getting them ready for spring. Then we just fill them with soil, and we have the machines for that. So, and there's Johanna working on them also, and setting them up, and we put the pots in and set them aside, and then reuse them all later. And it's a long process too. We do a lot of them. By one, but it saves a ton of time in spring, and that's what we try to do, a little bit more efficient that way this time of year. And here's the soil machines, different types here. We got starting to get set up, and this is in the new building that was right next to us. If people don't know, we purchased the building to the south of us where the New Holland dealership was, and this is all stacked up, and we're going to be running production out of this building here. And there's some more here, more containers yet. Again, those are all done. That whole room's full, and there's a glimpse of the soil and machines and everything in our workroom. And of course, there's Roy saying goodbye.